welcome you to another fantastic episode. Damn it, I already said it, fantastic. It's been called out that that's my favorite word, but that's because I'm a blue sky kind of thinking kind of guy. You know, life is always fantastic. It's always incredible. So I use that word a lot. Sorry, Dilpreet. Sorry, Dilly. I already used the word fantastic. I was going to try to make it through the whole episode without saying that word, but I already muffed it up, right? So we might as well just use it ad nauseum at liberty now, right? So another fantastic episode of Whiskey Through Food with me, your host, Cameron George. Today is an absolutely incredible day. See, I didn't use it that time. Today we're going to be talking about one of my absolute favorite whiskeys. We're going to be talking about a food pairing that is just badass, just a really badass food pairing. We're going to be talking about, about how, some of the foods that we consume are, tinkered with. Just some slight variations are kind of tinkered with, in terms of, some of the way that they present themselves. You might have seen my Facebook and also YouTube stories, Instagram stories this morning talking about the food pairing. It's a pink pineapple. Pineapples aren't pink. Like, what the WTF? WTF is going on? So for me today, I'm very excited to be able to talk to you about the mythical, the magical pink pineapple and how it pairs to one of the most delicious whiskeys in the world, coming from Ardbeg's sister brand, the one and only Glenmorangie Company. This is going to be awesome. We're going to be tasting a delicious dram. Hold up this box here for you, called Glenmorangie, A Tale of Cake. Hold up all sides of this box because it is disruptive. It's a lot different than any of the branding that you might have known from the Glenmorangie, one of the most iconic single malt whiskey distilleries. So let's dive on, jump online, see who's already tuned in. We might wait for a couple more people if y'all are slow today, but we'll see what's going on. And it's WTF, obviously. Right, so awesome. Let's go ahead and turn this volume down just a little bit. All right. Yeah, so social media is obviously going to be slow today. Some people have been traveling, naughty ones who have been traveling, all across the country for the holidays. For those of you who have stayed at home and socially distanced yourselves, good job. Gold stars. This episode is for you MFers, right? All right, for those of you who are traveling, please make sure that you get home safely. Make sure that you wash your hands, continue to use hand sanitizers, all that good stuff. Wear your masks. Wear your masks so we can get out of our homes eventually, someday. All right. So, food pairing today, pink pineapple. WTF is a pink pineapple. Also, shout out this badass shirt that I'm going to try to not wear during every episode, but I thought it was pretty dope for today. So what is a pink pineapple? A pink pineapple is, as it sounds, just a pineapple that has gone through some genetic modifications, right? Pineapples have two different types of, essentially two different types of enzymes in them, right? Or a few different. But one of them is called lycopene. That's actually this pink flesh inside of a young pineapple. As a pineapple continues to get older and it starts to mature, just like me, I'm a growing boy, right? It starts to develop what they call beta carotene. Beta carotene, almost messed that up. So beta carotene is actually what develops in terms of like the yellowing of the fleshiness of a pineapple. Taking it back to my old school bartending days when I used to run this fabulous bar. See, didn't say fantastic. I did it again. Gold star for me. But when I used to run this incredible bar called Barrio, we had a cocktail that was served in a pineapple, right? At the time, take it back to 2014 wants its cocktails back, right? We would make this delicious, almost tiki-esque style cocktail. I'm not a huge fan of tiki cocktails, but it was tiki-esque in its style, but it did have tequila and a little bit of mezcal as well. But the cocktail was served in these cored out pineapples. And, as the bar manager, every Thursday afternoon was spent coring out these pineapples. About 70 to 130 of them, in an afternoon. And my hands would just be gnarly, just mangled. And it was actually the acidity of that beta carotene that was actually attacking my hands, right? So beta carotene and pineapples are actually quite acidic. They do have a really beautiful, soft sweetness to them as well, as everybody on the planet knows. How can you be upset at pineapple, right? So we're going to kind of draw a link today between pineapple and whiskey, as we do every week with Whiskey Through Food, by talking about not only the way that these things smell and taste, but also how they feel when we're eating them at the exact same time, or drinking them in the whiskey's case. Today, our whiskey is going to be Glenmorangie A Tale of Cake, a delicious whiskey that is aged in Royal Tokaj casks. These casks come all the way to us from Hungary. It's a Hungarian sweet wine. They do make dry wines in the Tokaj region as well, but generally Tokajs are known for their dessert-esque quality, right? High in Brix, sugar content, really, really soft, supple kind of style of wine. Ooh, I like that word, supple. Supple. I'll stop saying it like that. I apologize. Right. So let's go ahead and dive into our food pairing today, which is actually provided by none other than my little sister. Shout out to Ricky, coming to us from Chicago. She actually shipped these Del Monte Gold, or pink gold pineapples to us. So this is actually what came in the box with the pink pineapple. The most ostentatious branding and marketing that I've ever seen for a pineapple. Branding itself is the rarest pineapple in the world, which I absolutely would probably agree with. The coloration of it is absolutely beautiful, and we'll get to it in a second. But let's go ahead and open up this little doodad, whatever it is that they sent along with it. All right, popped open, nice and easy. Fantastic branding. Shout out Del Monte quality, right? These pineapples are actually grown in Costa Rica. Costa Rica has a fantastic soil composition to be able to provide specifically these genetically modified pink pineapples with enough nutrients to be able to grow and flourish. The way that they actually ship these pineapples is without the crown. Much like today, I'm not wearing my hair up, but I always kind of have this crown of locks, which will be coming off next week. So if I look a little different next week, don't hate me, right? But they actually ship these pineapples without the crowns because they actually replant the pineapples in Costa Rica. Here at Whiskey Through Food and in the bar industry and the cocktail industry as well, we are all about sustainability. That's a huge, huge part about, not only Glenmorangie's distillery, but also about the programs that you all operate each and every day. So think about how we can make the world a much more sustainable place, right? So let's go ahead and pop open this little card that they've sent with us. So this is a certificate of authenticity. Words are hard, but I got through it there. Pink Glow Pineapple. We hereby declare that this is a 100% authentic, tropically grown Pink Glow pineapple. Congratulations on obtaining this royal delicacy. So it's said that Del Monte has been, kind of genetically modifying these pink pineapples and tweaking and playing with the flavor profile for the last 16 years. So essentially since 2004. I'm good at math, right? Obviously. Let's flip it over and read the back here because there's a little bit of a description of some of the flavors. All right. So by land, immediately messed that up. By sea and land, Pink Glow arrives from afar into your hands. Behold its radiant beauty as you slice into this wonder of the world. What you decide to do with this elegant treat is up to you. Much like your whiskey. Drink your whiskey the way that you effing want to drink your whiskey. Don't let anybody tell you how to drink your whiskey. I'm here today just to provide you some thoughts, right? All right. Perhaps make it the centerpiece of your next party, include it in your favorite recipe, or use Pink Glow wedges to garnish your evening cocktail. I hadn't read this. They already read my mind. Just make sure to tag #PinkGlowPineapple and watch the likes pour in. I hope that happens because we're trying to make this WTF thing pop. We're trying to make this Whiskey Through Food thing pop. So please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share it. Make sure you talk to your mom, your dad from afar, socially distanced. Talk to your roommates because they're your roommates. Tell them that what we're doing here is really badass. All right, enough of that. Let's get into some of the food pairing and let's actually try this badass pink pineapple. All right. Ha! Certificate of authenticity gone. All right. Pink pineapple, you might have been asking, well, Cam, hold this thing up. What the hell does it look like? All right. So these are some of the pineapple chunks. Beautiful, beautiful pink coloration to it. There's an incredible fragrance, from the pineapple. Pineapple is already one of my favorite fragrances and aromatics. I pull it out of a lot of, whiskeys that are actually aged in sweeter style wine casks, more tropical. And I absolutely love that. So when I was thinking about the food pairing today, of course, it popped into my mind that, yesterday was Thanksgiving, but yesterday was also National Cake Day. So, hence, why I opted for Glenmorangie, A Tale of Cake. So the way that we're going to be consuming our pink pineapple today, because again, remember, it's up to us what we ultimately do with our food and with our whiskey always, right? So what we're going to be doing, we're actually going to add it to this delicious slice of vanilla loaf cake. 1 star on the presentation, I know. But the real star of the show is absolutely the pineapple, so I wanted to make sure that this was the thing that we talked about first and foremost. I've got my fork. I think I need to grab my whiskey, and then we could be off to the races here. So let's go ahead and unbox this. This is actually the first live bottle of Glenmorangie A Tale of Cake that I have gotten to open, so hopefully I don't drop this. We're gonna go ahead and knock on wood. Why would you even say that, Cam? Right. Glenmorangie Tale of Cake, crafted by the mastermind, the mad scientist, Dr. Bill Lumsden, the most awarded whiskey distiller in the world. Dr. Bill is absolutely incredible, wonderful human being, and an immense amount of knowledge swirling around in his whiskey brain. So, Royal Tokai was a cask that Dr. Bill experimented with in the early kind of mid 1990s. When he was first taking over operations for the Glenmorangie Company as a whole, right before the distillery actually purchased Ardbeg. So as he started to mess around with these Royal Tokai casks, he found that the liquid was absolutely stunning, shocking, beautiful whiskey. He came back from traveling the world to announce, essentially like this world tour, rockstar road tour that announced him as the head distiller for Glenmorangie Company, that also announced the purchase of the Ardbeg distillery as well. And by the time he came back and was able to check on the Tokai cask, the whiskey was not good. It wasn't good. You can overage whiskey, right? Looking at you, bourbon whiskey fans, you can over oak a whiskey quite easily. All right, taking shots at bourbon. I'll step back. I apologize. Right. So Glenmorangie Tale of Cake is his second chance at Royal Tokai. He wanted to create this whiskey in the style of essentially of cake. You know, some of Dr. Bill's greatest and fondest memories are surrounding cake as a food item, right? Cake is a celebratory food item. It's something that brings us together with our families. You know, he often tells the story about cooking and baking cakes with his grandmother. His daughter actually made him an incredible pineapple upside down cake. Pineapple, right? I'm good at this, right? Pineapple upside down cake for his birthday. I won't disclose which birthday because I would like to keep my job, and I don't want to tell you how old Dr. Bill is, right? So we know that this whiskey is going to have some almost baker-esque kind of aromatics to it. It's going to have some tropical aspects. The way that it moves in its glass is very cumbersome. We know that Tokai was nice and rich and sweet and decadent, so I would expect this whiskey to follow suit. All right. So let's go ahead and dive into our pink pineapple because I've been effing dying to do this and I haven't tried it yet. They say that the pink pineapple, I'll hold it up, is supposed to be just a little bit sweeter than your classic pineapple. That's insane. That's delicious. Good Lord. Yeah, it is a touch sweeter because it lacks that beta carotene that we had talked about. Remember, with pink pineapples, there's a little bit of genetic modification that's going on here, right? So essentially they're tricking and swapping out these enzymes. They're really encouraging the growth and the stimulation of lycopene, right? Which is that pink enzyme that ultimately gives the pink pineapple its coloration. And by doing that, they're suppressing the beta carotene. Beta carotene is what gives pineapples their normal golden hue, right? So let's go ahead and put some of this onto our cake, and then let's try it with the whiskey, right? I'm just going to sneak another bite of this because it was badass. All right. Good Lord, that's good. Fantastic. Dang it, I said it again. I got called out earlier this week for using that word way too often. But that's because I think everything is fantastic. Life is fantastic. All right. And of course, I wouldn't do cake without a little bit of whipped cream. There we are. Let's go ahead. There it is. All right. Our presentation factor is looking a little better here. We again have a vanilla, nice little vanilla cake and a little bit of pineapple on top of it. And of course, just a little bit of whipped cream. All right, let's go ahead and cut into this and then see how we did with the food pairing as well. So I expect that sweetness to really pop forward. The creaminess is going to be amplified, and I think that we're going to see some beautiful creaminess to the whiskey as well. Something about those Royal Tokai casks tells me that we're going to be able to not only have a conversation about how it smells, but also how it feels when we're drinking it as well. Texture is everything. All right, cheers. Sweet Jesus. Pink pineapple might be my favorite fruit. Ricky, if you're watching this, thank you so much for sending me a couple of these pink pineapples all the way from Costa Rica. Beautiful, beautiful. The flavor of this is so robust. There's a creaminess to it. The sweetness of the vanilla partners and pairs very well to the to the pineapple, which has an added sweetness because again it lacks that beta carotene. It's almost like candied pineapple. It's kind of where this kind of goes, minus the like baked aspect of it. All right, let's see how the whiskey pairs. Woo, on the nose, that's absolutely beautiful. Oh, confectionery heaven. Sweetness is a little bit of almond, a little bit of oxidation as well as kind of creeping into the corners of the whiskey there. Good Lord. There's a fragrant pineapple aroma immediately jumping out of this glass. WTF is going on in this glass? This is heaven. Oh, yeah. That's absolutely fantastic. Glenmorangie, gives you this, the original Glenmorangie, the 10-year. And actually just any Glenmorangie really gives you this opportunity to see a lighter, more fragrant and floral side of whiskey. And so you take that base and that heart and you finish it in these Tokai, these Hungarian Tokai casks, and it really just enriches the entire experience. That's an incredible whiskey. Great dram. All right, before I stuff my face like a fat kid with the rest of that, let's talk about a cocktail. I think our cocktail needs to be something that really kind of amplifies a lot of the confectionery notes. And it also needs to amplify kind of the airy, aspect of the cake. It really needs to bring to life the entire experience. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to start this cocktail by taking some of this delicious sweetened pink pineapple. And we're actually going to incorporate this directly into the drink. I'm going to take a healthy, five little pieces that I kind of chopped up there. And then I'm just going to lightly muddle these because I do really want a lot of this sweetness to really kind of come forward. So I really kind of want some of this juice to jump to the forefront. You know what? I'll even use just a little bit more because why not? There we go. All right. So we'll just go ahead and crush the rest of that up. That's perfect. That's absolutely fantastic. I used it again. I need a count, like a counter to see how many times I use the word fantastic. So just go back and watch this and count for me. I'm going to take an egg. The egg is going to act as our emulsifier. If you wanted to, you could absolutely use aquafaba, if you didn't feel like using an egg to make the cocktail vegan, essentially, right? Not a big fan of vegan cake, but I'm a fan of vegan cocktails, so there is that. All right. There we go. Get that egg Just the egg white, remember, always just the egg white. And now we need a little bit more acidulation. Another great word. Whiskey through food. We help you with your fashion sense. We help you with your food pairing. We help you with vocabulary. We do it all around here, baby. All right, we're going to use a 1/2 ounce. I'm going to definitely short the citrus on this because I do want this cocktail to be kind of airy and a little sweet and just kind of, you know, a lot of fun. Now, one of my absolute favorite ingredients, anything from House of Giffard. This is their Vanille de Madagascar. I'm going to use a 1/4 ounce of this. Now you can see how I'm pairing the cake and the pink pineapple to the cocktail here, because we've got some of the sweetness of that pink pineapple. We've got some of the, you know, the airy and kind of lighter texture as well. And then we also have just a little bit of the sweetness. So instead of mixing a delicious cocktail with Glenmorangie A Tale of Cake, because this is my only bottle of it, I'm actually going to go ahead and use the Glenmorangie Original. I know. This is the first time that we've ever used a whiskey that is not the whiskey from the food pairing. But you know what? It's my show. I'll do what I want. Thank you for watching so much. All right. 2 ounces, 2 full ounces of Glenmorangie Original. And that's perfect. Whoop, just going to knock that small jigger off there. We'll get it later. We'll wait for the next bartender to come on. Right. Now we're just going to lightly give this a shake without any ice. Just helping to get some of that emulsification. Make it look good. There we go. Turn to the side so they can see your arms, Cam. There it is. All right. Now that we've done that, let's go ahead and add that ice. God, that's got a beautiful aromatic already to it. Really captures the nature of that pink pineapple. All right. Make sure that when you're doing shaken cocktails with egg white, you don't over ice your tins. You want to leave enough room in this shaker tin for that ice to essentially whip all of those ingredients. If you over ice your tin, there's not going to be enough air and enough room for this cocktail to start to expand. Right. So here we go. Got a nice shake going on, nice shake. Got a good rhythm to it. It's like we're dancing. Perfection. All right, let's grab our glass. Oh, get out here, come on. Get on out here. There we are. All right. Beautiful, beautiful glass. Glassware is always key. Just a couple more shakes. There we go. That smells delicious. Oh, we forgot an ingredient. It's okay. This is at-home bartending, baby. We're just going to give it a couple dashes of bitters. I'm going to use Peychaud's bitters. That's going to bring the coloration back to life. As soon as I shook the cocktail and opened the tin up, I was like, that's not right. Just a quick shake. We don't want to over dilute. That's good. That'll be perfect right there. And the coloration is spot on. Make sure you fine strain your cocktails. Remove any unwanted ice chips. I like to really get my fine strainer down in that glass. It ensures that there's no more aeration being added to it. And what that'll give us is a nice, clean, crisp looking, firm head on the cocktail. Perfect. A lot of bartenders like to do their straining from quite high. I've always believed that getting that, especially with egg white cocktails, putting that strainer right down in the glass there, as long as you're nice and tidy with your cocktails, you'll make a beautiful one. All right, look at this beautiful cocktail that we have. Perfect coloration. We're gonna go ahead and I'll show you again another one of these pink pineapples. Pink pineapple, pink cocktail, beautiful, perfect. Coloration matches, right? Again, we're all about aesthetic here. All right, so let's go ahead and try it again. You know what we're all about, whiskey through food. Let's see how this whiskey cocktail pairs. All right, on the nose. Soft fragrance coming out, pineapple. It's tropical, obviously. These pineapples are grown in Costa Rica. Little bit of citrus kind of creeping through there. The vanilla is so subtle, but so enticing. All right, let's go ahead and try it. I love me a Scotch sour. Because of the sweetness of these pineapples, again, remember, these pineapples have been genetically modified, right? A little bit less beta carotene, a lot more lycopene. That's sweetness to it, right? And that's what also gives it that pink coloration. Because of that, I opted to not use any simple syrup, as well as because I was using Vanille de Madagascar, beautiful vanilla liqueur. The Scotch comes through. The citrus is very, very subtle. Let's see how we did with the pairing when we actually pair it to our full food item, which again is a vanilla cake that's adorned and crowned with this very rare pink pineapple. Cheers, Slàinte. Let's see how we did. It's airy. It's fluffy. There's citrus. There's a tropical aspect to it. There's a creme brulee kind of thing that really hides in underneath, and I do think that that is attributed to that vanilla, bundt cake. I'm just going to be a fat kid, and I'm going to pig out over here, take another bite. Now, let's see how the cocktail, which is based with Glenmorangie Original, pairs to Glenmorangie Cake, or a Tale of Cake. Damn, that whiskey is delicious. And I can say that as somebody who, has the privilege of working on the sister brand, Ardbeg. I'm exposed to a lot of whiskeys from Glenmorangie. And this is absolutely fantastic. Great work, Dr. Bill and the Whiskey Creation team. Cheers. Slàinte. Airy, fragrant, some wood spices, obviously. Maintains a lot of the texture from that Tokai. The coloration of it is beautiful. The coloration of this cocktail is absolutely perfect. We're 3 for 3 here in this whiskey through food pairing. Beautiful cocktail, a beautiful dram of Scotch whiskey, and an absolutely stunning, stunning pink pineapple from the shores of Costa Rica. I need to get down there as soon as I possibly can. Right, so as always, I'm Cameron George. We just had a really badass whiskey tasting, food pairing. What do you expect? This is why you tune in to Whiskey Through Food. It's not just to see my beautiful face. Dramatic pause. It's actually to learn a little bit about Scotch whiskey, and it's to learn about how to use Scotch whiskey in cocktails, and also learn about unique food items from around the world. Remember, we do these episodes every Monday, every Friday, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I hope I get to see you around, and hopefully you tune in on Monday for the next episode, because I'm going to teach you what to do with all those leftovers from Thanksgiving that you had. Or if you have them, if they make it till Monday, right? And so, until Monday, cheers, Slàinte, and have an absolutely fantastic weekend. Stay safe during these holidays. Cheers.